Yankees and Mets are playing Subway Series at the stadium today at 1, and we're basically opening up for them. Tills is official sponsor of New York Yankees, so I think they're doing their part to get a lot of restaurants and a lot of vendors out and people out and having a good time on their day off.
So Bernie, just tell me about your musical career and the successes that you've had.
I don't know if I could call it a career. I think everybody else calls it a career. I'm just having a lot of fun playing. Figure, I stopped playing baseball about 4 years ago. 2006 was my last game with the Yankees, and after that I just went right into what I guess used to do when I was a kid, which was I was playing a lot of guitar. I went to a performing arts high school when I was a kid, so it was just fitting just to go right into this after my playing days were over with the Yankees.
How did you become involved with Bernie and his band?
Well, I was first asked to play the Star Spangled Banner for the Yankees a couple of years back, and I met Bernie there. And then I was asked to put a band together for him for a show that we did in the Bronx with Jose Feliciano. And because of that moment, we put together a great band, and we've been working with him since.
And ever since I was a little kid, I watched him, day in and day out be amazing for the Yankees. And so it was a dream come true when he finally... He's a New York guy, and he called all great New York musicians, and I was lucky enough to get the call. I don't really know how it actually came about, but all I know is that when I look at him up on stage, I still get that feeling like I'm watching him on TV hit a home run in the Subway Series.
He's a great guy. He's a fantastic guitar player, but he's a great person, and it's an honor to know him, to work with him. Just to be able to call him a friend.
I know Richie for a while, so he asked me to come by and play. He just hired me to play 3 shows, and that's how it all starts. It's pretty incredible, to find out and to get to know him and stuff. But to know him as a musician rather than know him as a sports guy, that's how it's been for me.
I actually participated with Bernie a few times. We did a few functions for his church, and from there on, we became friends into a relationship where it became about music. And it's just been a journey from then.
I actually met Bernie a few years ago, and we went and played together, but of course I knew who he was. And then Richie Canada, the sax player, is his musical director, and I've done a lot of work with Richie. And when Richie got called to put a band together, he hired me, and I guess Chris too, probably.
And just describe how it's like to play with your baseball idol.
Oh, it's every now and then I look to the side and go, it's Bernie Williams. It never gets old. It's always an amazing feeling.
Yesterday we were in a show out in Long Island, and we're watching the game, and everybody's kind of stuck on the game, and they're showing some clips, and then Bernie comes up, and everybody goes, "Oh, look at Bernie!" Oh! So it was great.
Bernie's done really well. He has, as we speak, 2 #1 singles. The Go For It and Ritmo de Otoño from his album Moving Forward. So I'd say he's being fairly well received everywhere he goes.
The audiences have been very responsive. This is a new thing for him. He really hasn't played live, and I think he's encouraged. We're all encouraged, but I mean, we just played a couple shows. We're getting bigger and bigger venues, and the response has been really encouraging. So everybody's really happy.
Was the transition difficult for you?
It was certainly a different dynamic, I think. Obviously the physical part, become more sedentary. You have to push yourself to work out, but other than that, it has been a great deal of fun for me, being involved with the production and mixing and recording of the album that just came out a year and a half ago, Moving Forward, and just being really hands-on in the project. It's a great learning experience.
He's a wonderful guitar player. He really has brought his music to us, and it's intricate music. It's something that's very thought out, and you'll be very surprised when you actually hear how good he is. And I think most people come and say, "Oh, he's still a Yankee," but he's an ex-Yankee now, and he's a full-on musician.
He's more than just a good guitar player, too. He's an amazing composer, and there's a lot of eloquence in what he does with his compositions. And I think that lots of times we bring people into the theater wherever we're performing because he's a Yankee, because he was such a great Yankee. But we keep them there because the music is so good.
Bernie's music to me is a blend of Latin percussion and rock rhythms and with guitar, like guitar all over the place. But there's also vocals. There's a vocal element to the band. So I'd say that his music is multidimensional. He's like the true. It's like true what we call like fusion. A fusion of styles together.
The fact that it was nominated for a Latin Grammy just sort of, I guess, gives me an indication that I'm doing the right thing. I guess after playing baseball was over. So I'm having a great time.
Oh, every venue that we've played in has been sold out, and I mean they get so into it. I mean, every song is. I'm pretty amazed at how much they love not just watching Bernie, but listening to all the stuff that we're playing.
The coolest looking venue was in Albany, the Egg. It's shaped as an egg, the theater. It's pretty cool. This tops it. I mean, I live a couple blocks away from Madison Square Park, and it's pretty cool that I have a bunch of friends coming, and this is pretty cool for me to be here today for sure.
I always say like Joe Torre used to say. He was one of my managers. He said, we don't own our physical ability. We just borrow it for a little while. So I guess my time was up. I gave the best that I could give. For like 16 years, was part of a number of great teams. Went to 6 World Series. Won 4 of them. I had a lot of individual accolades and a lot of awards. So. I mean, I really had not a lot of things to prove, anymore in baseball, and I had a great career, and I really have no complaints about it.
The reviews have been absolutely 100% great, which we really appreciate because he's new and he wants to see what the public and what the media is thinking, and so the response has been absolutely fantastic.
Even reviewers, I think I've seen a number of things where even reviewers have commented that they came in not expecting a whole lot. They're expecting sort of a celebrity that is now trying to do this. What they don't realize is that Bernie was in being classically trained in music before he was playing baseball, and he's been doing it his whole life. It's not something that's new now that his career as a baseball player is over. It's something that he's been doing his whole life, and he's really good at it.
Didn't you used to jam in the locker room with, what was it, you, Paul O'Neill?
Yeah, well, I used to jam on my own in the locker room. They used to try to tell me to shut up all the time. But there is another room in the old Yankee Stadium. They used to call it the paint room, which they have all the like spill off of the paints and whatever. I guess back in the day, Ron Guidry would have a drum set there that was given to him by some drum company. And Paul used to go there and just practice, and one thing led to another, and I just brought a little amp, and that was our kind of like jamming place. After batting practice on rain delays, before games, he used to go out there and just play the blues a little bit before or after the games. Music, I find that you really compete against yourself to try to make yourself a better player, and it's not about being the best guitar player. It's just the journey that you take. And the people you meet and all the experiences that you have, playing in one moment in time, conversing, so to speak, in the language of music with all the musicians in the band. That's what I enjoy the most. And I just want to keep doing that for as long as I live.